code that you can check in at the end and get your time. It's really fun. We meet here at 7:30 in the morning and we take like a really slow jog down, and then we do it. It's a 5K run. It's all free. You just, if you want to come, do some running. It's really fun and it pushes you because you go in your own time bracket, so we don't run together. These boys are much faster than me. So yeah, you can just come down. If you want to start coming, 7:30 on Saturday mornings, you can actually, I'll put it up online so you can book so we know that you're coming. So yeah, just wanted to start with that. Some of you, I know all of you today, which is good. Okay. And today we're going to be focusing on a Sanskrit word called Shri, which some of you who have come to my Thursday class would have already learnt a little bit about that. There isn't like a direct translation into English, but it's about glorifying your life. So in the sense of seeing the silver lining might be like an English way to put it, or like, you know, being grateful, finding things that you can be positive about in your life. And that's like a technique that takes some practice because we naturally want to go to the things that we don't have or the things that we want because that's what humans do. But if we can try to focus on stuff that we do have and that we love, you actually find that you feel a lot happier. So that's kind of, in your yoga practice, the word Shri also means to align the body so that the body can flow and be like, can be happy so it's not in pain and you can live your life in the happiest, most glorified way. So that's what we're going to play with today. Like, why do you come to yoga? To Shri also means to clean the mind. Do you come for the mental side of yoga? Do you come for the physical side because you like the fire of a power practice? Or do you come for the meditative side where you like the slower moves and the beginning and the end? It's a little bit softer. So that's all Shri. And what I love, it's also explained as when you say I love you to someone, it's like that look in someone's eye, that shine, that's like the Shri, the passion, the beauty, which I just think is such a beautiful word, and it has so, like, you could just write an essay on that one word, which is so interesting in Sanskrit. So that's the focus today, but it will be challenging, so please take a break if you need. Those of you who know my classes, I push you. I'm going to give options. Some people have been practicing for a while, so they'll take the last option. Some people who are new take the first option and you can build into it. If you want to, there's no pressure. Come into child's pose and chill out if you need to. So yeah, we'll start on our mats on our back. And you can, I sometimes place one hand on my belly and one hand on my heart if you find that helps to connect to your breath. So we'll take a big breath in together. And a big exhale through the nose. Inhale deeply, feel the belly rise. And exhale, feel the belly fall, breathe through the nose. Engaging that Ujjayi breath, that victorious warrior breath, that deep oceanic sound at the back of the throat. Sounding a little bit like the ocean when you hear your neighbour breathing. Sounds beautiful. We engage those whisper muscles at the back of the throat, a slight constriction to allow us to feel that breath. And when everyone breathes together, it almost sounds like you're beside the ocean. And this breath is here for you to allow you to connect throughout the practice. When things get difficult, the Ujjayi breath can help, the deep breath in and out through the nose. And the harder the practice gets, the more that you bring this in, it will fire up the practice and help you deal with some of the stronger poses. Seeing if you can relax a little more through the shoulders, through the jaw. Taking a body scan and just seeing where you're holding some tension. On the next exhale, can you let that fall away? Can you shift a little, relax a little? And think about what brought you to your practice today. What continues bringing you back to your practice? And what is it that lights up the Shri in you? Taking your last breath where you are and starting to maybe wiggle the fingers or gently move the head from side to side. If you have your knees out, gently help them back into center and take a little windscreen wipe of the legs. And we'll start with our core. And like with every class, we try to focus, you want to keep your lower back on the floor. If you start to arch your lower back at any time, please just lower the legs to the floor or take the first option of the core exercise because we don't want to compensate with our lower back. So having the feet on the floor, place your palms onto your quads. Take a breath in to prepare, push that sacrum into the floor, and exhale, come up to touch the tops of your knees. Inhale to come down and lower gently. Exhale to come up. So when we come up, try and bring your shoulders as high off the floor as you can. Inhale down, 6 more. Exhale to come up. Inhale down, take it with control, don't rush it. Exhale up. Inhale down, take it slow. Exhale up. Chin to chest. Inhale down, even slower, Emily. Exhale up, I see you. Hold, slow down, 3 more. Much harder if you slow it down. Exhale, 2. Inhale, lower. Exhale, last one. Inhale, lower. Now, second round, you can stay doing that one if you like. Interlace fingers behind neck and head. You can have the elbows wide for this one, or you can bring them up towards the ceiling. Inhale to prepare and exhale to crunch up. Now, optional to lift and point the toes. This is going to take it to next level. If you would like, you can bend the knees or place them on the floor. Inhale, lower down. Exhale to crunch up and bring the legs up. Inhale, we're going to lower the feet, lower the head. Exhale, crunch up, lift those shoulders as high as you can, point through the feet. Lower legs, breath in, lower. Exhale, 5 more, point through the feet or feet on the floor, take your option. Lower legs, inhale. Breath out, come up. Inhale. 4. Inhale, lower. 3. You can do it. Keep smiling, keep pointing the toes. Come down. 2. Last one. Point the toes. Lift those shoulders up. Exhale. Place them down. Breath in. Lower down. So the next one, we're going to extend the arms out to the side. So when we take the weight away from the core has to work harder to control it. So that's the goal with this next one. So hands can go up. Now let's do hand behind the neck and head to support your head. Inhale to prepare and exhale to come up. Optional to lift the feet. Right hand to roof and then open it out to the side. Only take it as far as your core can handle. Inhale back to center, lower feet, support the head, lower down. Exhale, coming back up, raise the feet, optional. Left hand to roof, then open the left hand out to the side. Bring it in. Inhale, lower feet, lower the head. Exhale, come up, right hand lifts, feet lift, and open up to the side. Breath in. Exhale, bring the hand back in. Inhale, lower the feet, lower the head. Exhale to come up, straighten the legs, left hand up. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. Inhale to lower feet, lower head. One more each side. Exhale to rise up, point through the toes. Right hand to roof, inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale to lower. Oh my God, last one. Exhale to come up, point through the feet. Left hand rises, inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, lower feet, lower head. Windscreen wipe the legs. Whew. This is a great one because your lower back is nice and supported on the floor, and also your hand is supporting your neck, so you're not taking pressure through the neck. Last one. Now this one, you have an option to either raise one hand above your head or both, okay? If you do both, it's super hard, so just take your option, okay? So interlace hands behind your head, exhale to come up, raise the feet, optional. Now, right hand up towards the roof, inhale to open over the top of your head. If you're feeling super strong, you can do both arms. Exhale to center, inhale to lower the feet, lower the head. Hands behind neck and head, exhale to crunch up, straighten through the legs, left hand rises up, left hand overhead, maybe both if you're feeling real strong. Bring the hand back to support the head, lower the feet, breath in. One more each side. Exhale to rise up, straighten through the feet. Right hand rises up, maybe overhead, maybe both arms for the last set. Back to center, breath in, lower the legs, lower the head. Oh my gosh, exhale to come up, point through the toes, left hand up, left hand overhead, maybe both. Support that head, lower the feet, breath in, lower down. Oh my God. Windscreen wipe the legs. Bring those knees maybe in towards the chest. Give yourself a little sacrum massage on the floor. Rock and roll forward and back. So if you like a bit of rock and roll, you can do those rocks. I remember when I started yoga, I hated them at first. So if it doesn't feel good and you find you're plonking down, just come up to a normal tabletop position. Also, if your mat's very thin, it can sometimes not feel very nice. So coming to our tabletop, moving into dolphin pose. So dolphin's a great position for working on inversions. That's why I like to get it in every class. If you have a shoulder injury, interlace the hands, okay? It just means that your shoulder doesn't go into like a really out of its normal range of motion. So grab your elbows, bring your elbows to the floor. This is going to tell you that you're in the right spot for your dolphin. Hands can go out, spread wide, or if you have a shoulder injury, bind the hands. Tuck the toes and then start to lift the glutes up. Look towards your feet, walk your feet in towards the body even more. Push up into the shoulders, what's called protraction of the shoulders. So you're pushing into the floor, making sure that that head is not resting on the floor. Squeeze your elbows towards each other so they don't splayed out to the side of the mats. Walk your feet in a little more if you would like. Optional to stay here, or we're going to raise that right leg up. Bend the knee, and we'll take some external circles. So we're going to bring the knee in towards the middle and then out towards the side for external rotation of the thigh, using the glute min and the glute max. So the whole hip is staying stable and you're just moving that knee, which is activating the glute. Last one. And then take that knee the other way. So 4 inward rotations. So the knee's going in, over the body line, over towards the left, and then out towards the right. Make those circles reasonably big to activate that glute. Optional to come down, take a break whenever you want. Take those circles slow No, don't worry about going too fast. Lower the leg. Now take a child's pose if you need. If you're feeling super strong, you can stay in your dolphin. Come back up when you're ready. We'll do the other side. If at any point this is too much, just come into child's pose. Lift the left leg up. Point through the toe and then bend the knee. So we're going to take external rotation. So we're bringing the knee in and then out towards the side of the mat, drawing nice big circles, as much as your hip feels comfortable doing. And we're using that activation of the glute. We're isolating that muscle. One more. And then change direction. So outward rotation. So out and in. And this is a really great exercise for the booty because we don't often use these muscles in yoga. Last one. Oh, lower the leg. Child's pose, take a breath. Take a breather. Optional to come into a little puppy pose if you like that, which is sliding forward. And you can either rest the chin on the floor, look towards the hands, or rest the forehead on the floor. So this is coming into a back bend and also a shoulder opener, just an option. Otherwise, a child's pose is great. Last breath. Push up onto your hands and knees. Come into your first downward facing dog. Walk the hands up, tuck the toes, push up and back. Downward facing dog. Pedal out the legs. Maybe a little nod or shake of the head to gently release the neck. Look up between the hands. Either tippy toe walk up or step or jump between the hands. Inhale to a halfway lift, flat back. Exhale to fold, bend the knees, place the hands on the floor. Try to get that chest as close as you can towards your quads. Bend your knees a lot and slowly roll up. Stack the vertebra, hands come through heart center, big breath in, reach up. Big smiles because it's Saturday. And exhale to fold. We're going to go get croissants at that new cafe after this. Does anyone want to come with me? Inhale to a flat back. That's kind of naughty, but it's fine. That's Shri for me. Bring the hands to the floor. Step or jump back into your high plank. So high plank, I recommend if you have any knee, elbow injuries or shoulder injuries, there's a couple of things you can do. You can do your chaturangas in fists, which I've already spoken to someone about today, or you can lower the knees to the floor, which takes off the pressure from the wrist. We're going to bring the chest forward, wrap those elbows back like a tricep push-up, use the glutes, come down halfway and stop. Exhale to rise up. Yeah, and then half down, breath out. Inhale to rise up. Last one, we're going to take it slow towards the ground. Keep those elbows in tight towards the body, all the way down. Breath in, baby cobra. Maybe lift hands, maybe lift feet, chin to chest. Look at the top of your mats. Breath out, hands to floor, tuck toes, push up and back, downward facing dog. Pedal out through legs. Release that neck, look between your feet or to your belly button, which will elongate the back of the neck. Look between hands, step or jump forward. Inhale halfway and exhale, hands to floor. Gently rise up, bending through knees, extending through hip, reach tall. Come up onto tippy toes, have your feet hip width apart. Little Charlie's Angels asana with the fingers. Means a little gun pistol, yeah, you got it. Now lower the heels, we'll take a side bend. We're going to take the hips to the left and side bend to the right. Inhale to center, reach tall, and exhale to the other side. So the little trick is moving the hips, which allows you, if your hips stay center, it's hard to get into your side bend. Inhale to center, one more, reach tall, and over to the side. Making sure that armpit's shining towards the ceiling rather than coming down. Inhale to center, reach tall, exhale, one more, the other side. Inhale to center. Lower hands to heart, take a breath, close the eyes. Sometimes I like to place my thumbs on my chest so I can feel my heart. And just connect to that space for a moment. The heart center, the place of Shri, of beauty, of love. Exhale, fold forward, bend through the knees, hands to the floor. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands down, step or jump back into high plank. Coming through your flow, chaturanga, optional lower knees to floor, high to low plank. Breath in, upward facing dog, and breath out, downward facing dog. Pedal through legs. Bend one and straighten the other. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, step between hands. Inhale, come up into crescent lunge. Now we're going to be lifting the heel in a lot of this next flow. If you have a knee injury, I would keep the heel on the floor, okay? Exhale, we're going to raise that knee up and sink low. You need a lot of, we're using the calf and the quad here. So the knee, if it's unstable, keep that heel down for this flow. Lower the heel, open into warrior two. So find that instep, so front heel in line with the instep of the back foot. Knee comes down to stack over front ankle. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift the heel, sink down. Lower the heel, hands come down to frame the foot. Step back, take your flow. Optional, one-legged chaturangas, chaturanga push-ups, knees on floor, whatever tickles your fancy today. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises, breath in. Breath out, step between hands. Inhale, rise, crescent lunge. Exhale, lift the heel, sinking into the hips, optional. Lower that hip, breath in, exhale, warrior two. So we come nice and deep into the thighs. Make sure you're pushing down the blade edge of that back foot so you're not dumping into your knee. And then if you want to, you can raise the heel and sink down. We're going to activate through those quads and the calf of the front leg. Lower the heel, hands to floor, step back and flow. Taking your option. Now take it slow, whichever option you choose. I would rather you have control than using momentum. Breath out, downward facing dog. Breath in, right leg rises. Breath out, step between hands. Inhale, rise, crescent lunge. Exhale, raise the heel. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, raise the heel. Inhale, reverse, reach forward, paint the ceiling. Relax neck and head. Exhale, triangle. We straighten that front knee. Tilt the hips back like you're getting a bit sassy. Reach forward and tilt down. So if you're dumping onto the floor, I encourage you to lift up to come into strength in the core. You can relax right ear to right shoulder. Push the toes into the floor, little micro bend of the front knee to protect the joint. Just a little one, yeah, beautiful. Exhale, hands to floor, step back, flow. Optional knees on floor, choose your flow. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog, breath out. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, step between hands. Inhale, rise up, crescent. Exhale, lift the heel, sink low. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, lift the heel, sink low. Inhale, reverse, reach forward and back, maybe a little bind or traction the hip. Exhale, lift the heel. Lower the heel, triangle pose, reach forward, tilt down. Same cues, lift up through top hand, little micro bend, especially if you know you're hypermobile. You want to bend that knee. Bend through the front knee, hands frame the front foot, step back. Move through your vinyasa, high to low plank. Breath in to come up and breath out, downward facing dog. Last set, we're going to add a couple of moves to the end and then you're done for this round. So inhale, reach the right leg up. Exhale, step between hands. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, lift heel. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, lift the heel. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, lift the heel. Inhale, triangle pose, reach forward and down. Exhale, bend the knee. Hold here for a moment. Bend even more into that front knee and come into extended side angle. So if you're new, I would recommend just resting gently on that front quad, reaching over the top of the head towards me. If you have half bind, you can reach behind you to grab your thigh. If you have a full bind, you can bind the hands behind your back, but bring the hips in between your body rather than poking the booty out. If you do have your bird of paradise, you can go there. Otherwise, stay here, relaxing the neck and head. Even if you're in your bind, relaxing right ear to right shoulder will get this awesome stretch through the side of the neck. Last breath, everyone comes down to extended side angle to meet. Hands frame the front foot, step back, take your flow of choice. Knees on floor is always a great option and it allows you to keep that control. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal out through legs. Last set, left side. Breath in, reach left leg tall. Breath out, step between hands. Inhale into crescent. Exhale, lift the heel, sink low. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, lift the heel. Inhale, lower heel, reverse. Reach forward and back. Optional, come up onto heel. Exhale, triangle pose. Tilt the hips back, reach forward, tilt down. Bend that front knee a little bit to avoid that pain or overextension in the front knee. Bend through front leg, extended side angle. Optional, rest on the quad and reach over the head. Half bind or full bind. So if you are in your full bind, try to keep that top shoulder rolled back rather than forward. You can come into your pigeon. Oh yeah, Rusko, you taking the harder one. So you can come into your bird of paradise or your bound half moon, which is impossible. Well done. Open that top shoulder, relax that left ear to left shoulder. Everyone come down to knee back. Hands come down to frame that front foot. Step back to flow. Lower that knee. Come down, breath out. Inhale, up dog. Roll shoulders back, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, down dog. Take this option now to have a child's pose, have a drink, have a little bit of a de-sweat if you need, have a little break. Saturday morning. Just drink my tea. I tell I was feeling feisty when I made this playlist as well. You come back into your down dog when you're ready. So next set, we'll have some arm balances. If you're new to Brave or Power Yoga, you'll probably be thinking, what the hell are these things? But just take the first option. You don't have to try the arm balance, okay? So breath in, reach that right leg tall. Breath out, step between hands. Inhale, rise, crescent lunge. Exhale, arrowhead. So we're sweeping forward. Hands come down to face towards the floor. Tilt your tailbone, bring your ribs in. Try not to rest on that front quad. Bend your knee a little more. Optional, reach forward with the hands, extended arrow. Keep breathing. Inhale, come up into crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist over towards the right. So when we twist, a couple of options. You can stay as you are. You can open up the hands, which is going to increase the twist, like flying a bird. We have a couple of bind or balance options. You can come into your arm balance, hands onto the floor, bend the elbows. Or if you don't want to try this one, you can try and raise the back leg. So you bring that back leg up and stay with the bind in the hands. Have a little play. You may fall over, but that's all. Someone said to me the other day, If you fall over, it's just creative. I thought that was quite funny. So just give it a try. And then come back to your twist when you're done, and we'll open up into warrior two. It's hard, right? Yeah, you're doing good. Someone said to me, are those air conditioners ornamental? I was like, sometimes. Like, depends if you get through the next flow. That was you. Yeah. That was cracking me up. Get deep into that front knee. Gaze towards the front middle finger. Now, look in front of your foot. We're coming to a half moon. So one way you can do it, if you have a block, it's easier. You can sort of shift, just move so I don't headbutt you, Emily. Shift that back foot and come up and flex the back toe. So the point is to stack the hip bones. So it's an opening of the hip. You're looking for a flex of that back foot towards the shin. Really beautiful, guys. Looks awesome. Now hold for one more breath. Exhale, come into standing leg split. So I like to point the back foot for this one because it gives my hamstrings a little bit of a break. If you have handstand hops, you can have a little practice in your handstands. I might fall into something if I do that. And if you've had enough, just come into a rag doll, grabbing your elbows and fold over your thighs. Allow yourself to be soft, catch your breath. If you need to get your head above your heart, you're welcome to also come into a squat pose as an option. Place your hands on the floor and step back into your downward facing dog when you're ready. Pedal out the legs. Take a little child's pose if you need it for a second. You're all looking pretty good. Lift that breath in. We're going to raise that left leg up. Exhale, step between hands. Inhale, rise up into crescent. Exhale, sweep hands behind you, arrowhead. Now, what makes this harder is bending into that front knee, pushing down through that back heel, and then tilting tailbone, bringing ribs in. Extend through the arms, chin to chest, keep long through the back of the neck. Last breath. Then inhale to come up, crescent lunge. And then exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, lengthen through chest. Exhale, twist towards the left, so towards the lion. So taking these options again, you can stay here. You can open the arms. You can come into your crow, side crow. Hands to the floor, make a little shelf with the arms, and then maybe float the legs. Or come into raise that top back leg. So you raise the leg slow and use that bind, twist, to give you that support. Gazing just to the floor. It's hard. Stay in your twist if it's too much. And when you've had enough, open up into warrior two. Breath out. Gaze towards the front of your mat, coming into half moon. Reach forward, shift that back leg, and then step up. Flexing that back toe. For me, I have to check that standing leg is pointing straight. Sometimes it's in a little angle which shows that your hips are a bit stiff. You guys all look really good, actually. Last breath. You guys are looking awesome, yeah. And exhale, fold forward into half splits. Point the back foot if you have really unhappy hamstrings, it'll help. So from here, if you do have your handstand hops, you can have your little hops. Now, it doesn't matter if you don't get up. It just helps the heart rate and gets you used to that movement. When you're ready, fold forward, breath out, ragdoll, grab the elbows, rock from side to side. The good news, you made it through the challenging part, the strength-focused part of the class. And when you're ready, meet me in a downward-facing dog. I'll just squish through once to grab the aircon. I'll pop it on for just a second. And then we'll inhale, reach that right leg up. And exhale, step between the hands. Step that back leg forward. Sweep hands behind you. Didn't I said that strength was over? Oh, sorry, I lied. I do that. Sorry. Sweep hands behind you. Come up into chair. So, you know. So we're going to have the hands forward. And this one, take it wide. If you do find it affects your knees, you can bring your knees together and point the toes. Come down deep. That didn't work. Come down deep into the legs, up onto the balls of the feet. Now you can challenge yourself. Have your hands forward, palms down for this one. Makes it a little easier for your back. And you can come down lower. The goal here is to get the shins parallel to the floor. Keep that focus. And then lower the heels, fold forward, sweep hands behind you, breath in. Exhale, come back into chair. Step feet together. I'm slightly evil. Hands to heart. Inhale to lengthen through chest. Exhale to twist towards the right. So taking your options here, same as before. You can open the hands, you can stay as you are. You can come into side crow if you want. Now, just an option, you do not have to take it. One more breath. Then exhale, fold forward over the legs, step them hip width apart. Interlace both fingers around the big toe. Inhale to lengthen and exhale to fold. So pulling yourself gently down towards your thighs. Releasing the hands gently. Step your feet together. Inhale, sweep hands behind you. Exhale, come back into chair. Well, not going to do that toe one again. We're just going to come into normal. So inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist to the left this time, so towards the lion. It's really great just to stay as you are here. Or if you do want to try the arm balances, you're welcome. I'll just do it because I did it on the other side, so I want to stay even. Or you can have a play with just lifting one foot off the floor like we did before. Have a little play with your balance. When you've had enough, fold over the legs, step your feet hip width apart. Gorilla pose, palms under the balls of the feet. Fold forward over those thighs. Releasing the hands, step your feet even wider and squat down into a malasana. Bring your hands to heart. Close your eyes. Connect back to the breath. Bring back that Ujjayi breath. Go in and out through the nose. Feeling that aircon if it's blowing on you. Lower the hands to the floor. If you want to take a cheeky crow and a jump back, you're welcome. Otherwise, just step back into a downward facing dog. Walking out the legs. Breath in, right leg rises. Breath out, bring that right knee to right wrist. We're coming into imagine like a pigeon, half pigeon. So Emma, this is your happy place, yeah? But we're doing a little bit different. So some people will just come into pigeon because they prefer it. We're coming into one called deer, which is actually a yin pose. So you're flexing your front foot, your front shin is at a right angle with your knee, and your back shin is at a right angle with your knee, and you flex your back toe. So I like to imagine it like a square. I've got my front hip bone to my knee, to my ankle, to my knee, to my ankle. If this is not possible for your body, you can come into a half pigeon. It's actually meant to be more gentle on the knees. Then from here, you walk the chest over your front shin. So try not to rest directly on the knee, but over the front shin and down. So for me, I feel this almost as much as half pigeon. Some people don't. Can you feel it okay?
I can feel it in my butt.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's a good place. Perfect, yeah. So if you don't feel it, just raise a hand and I can give you a little bit more guidance. And here we just focus on our breathing. The way I like to see this is a beautiful service for your body. So that sense of Shri, that alignment. We spend so long in desks, sitting down, shortening through the back line of the body and the glutes. So this is an optional, beautiful stretch out for those muscles. Walking those hands up. From here, we'll come into a knee pile. So if you do have issues with your knees, you can just stay in what you were doing before. If you want to try it, you can bring that back leg around. You'll need to bring the feet on either side of your glutes so that eventually your knees won't be exactly stacked, because most people can't manage it, but it's going in that direction. The tops of your feet are on the floor, and you want to sit your glutes both down in the middle. Normally, if you're very tight, you're going to have one glute sitting up, so you might need to help yourself so you're nice and grounded. And if you do that, you're going to feel this pull through the right side. And if you bring can you bring this foot out a little bit further towards, and then sit down in the middle. And if you bring your hand underneath your right glute and lift it up and move it over towards the right, it'll bring you more into the center, but it's quite hard, yeah? So once you're as square as you can manage, check your knees out. If it's painful, just come out a little bit so you can bring that foot out towards the side a bit more, the top foot. If you feel comfortable, fold forward over the legs. And just let that chin come in towards the chest. And if you do feel any pull in the knee at all, I'd recommend that top foot, just bring it out more to the side to give your knee less of an angle. If this is just in general uncomfortable for you, you can just sit in a seated position with legs crossed and fold over the legs. This is also a really nice option. So I know this one's quite a tough one for people with tight hips. Next pose, we're going to straighten that bottom leg underneath. And similarly, we're going to stack the knees. So you're going to bring that left knee to stack on top of the right. If that again feels horrible, you can just put the foot on the inside of the thigh like we normally do. This is just a different version. It's just a little bit deeper because when we fold forward, we don't have that option to bend the knee. So it's a little bit harder on the hamstrings. So reach tall and then exhale to fold. Now, if this is too much, you can do the traditional one, which is bringing the foot in and fold forward and down. And this is where we take that light, that torch inward and focus on ourselves, which for some people can be quite confronting. See if you have that internal dialogue, if you can switch it to focus on the breath. Walk the hands up, and we're going to come into a twist. So we're placing that left foot flat on the floor, hooking the right arm around, coming into Lord of the Fish. So twisting over towards the lion. So twisting up through the spine, try and get as much length as you can, using that back arm to support you. Flexing that right foot to get a little bit more through the hamstring. Inhale to center, come into counter stretch, hands towards the right, lower the chest gently, breath out. Inhale, come back to center, hands behind you. So come into reverse tabletop. You have the option to keep your foot on your quad if you would like. If that's too much, just come into the normal version, reverse tabletop. Optional to gaze back or look towards your belly button. Squeeze the glutes and extend the hips towards the roof. Push into your heels. Breath out, glutes to floor. Cross the legs, jump back, or step back into your down dog. Pedal out through legs. Feeling any difference between each side of the body. Inhale that right leg, the left leg rises up. Breath out, sweep between those hands. And then we'll get that back leg up towards the front. We're coming into deer. If you prefer half pigeon, you can stay in that one. So we're flexing the back foot, flexing the front foot, and finding that little square. So a nice right angle with the front shin to the thigh, and the same for the other leg. This one for me took a little while to get it right, but once you do, it does feel quite nice. And then walk the chest forward, and we're going over that front shin rather than onto the knee. So make sure the knee's towards the left side of the mat. And this is where we just let ourselves sink into the floor. And if you have your Ujjayi breath, this is a really nice place to bring it in, because it not only helps you focus on the breath, but it reminds you to breathe, because you can often hear your neighbour breathing. Because what happens when we work on something new or the hips is we hold the breath. Walking those hands up gently. We'll bring that right leg over this time, over the top for that knee pile. So moving the feet to the sides of the body and the glutes in the center. So often if you find you're coming over, what will happen when you first start this one is you'll be sitting over onto that left glute. So if you place your hand on the floor, your right hand, left hand under your glute, lift it up. And then get both of your sit bones on the floor. If you then feel your knee, I'd recommend just coming into a seated position or moving that foot further out to the side. If that feels quite comfortable to stack the knees, on this side for me it does, then you fold forward over the head, over the knees. Otherwise, just come into a cross-legged position with the opposite leg forward as you did before and fold forward. This is a good one after our running this morning. Come into a cross leg. Try. It's okay? Okay. It should feel like a releasing tension rather than a pain. So if you do feel a pain, just take a different option. Gently starting to come up, we'll be straightening that bottom leg, so the left leg, and bring that top leg over the top. So we're stacking the knees on top of each other, and the top of the foot goes onto the floor beside you. And then we'll reach up nice and tall and fold forward. So for me, I really don't fold as much because my hamstrings hold me back when I have this version, because I can't bend the knee. If it's too much, come into a normal half fold forward, which will allow you to get more into the back body. Really nice breathing. Slowly walk the hands up and coming into Lord of the Fish. So placing the right foot on the floor, left hand hooks around as we twist towards the right. So the plant wall. I got plants everywhere now, I don't know. They're on every wall, aren't they? The non-line wall, yeah. the ornamental air conditioner wall. Yeah, yeah, the ornamental wall. Inhale, come back to center, come into opposite, so hands to the floor on the opposite side and lower your chest down, breath in to come up. So coming into your half tabletop, you can keep that foot over if you like, half tabletop position, chin to chest if you have a sensitive neck, or if it feels okay to let the head fall back, you can do that. Glutes to the floor, cross the legs. If you want to try a little jump back, what I mean by that is that you can try to give yourself a little bit of a jump back into a plank with control. Otherwise, just step back into plank in any way that feels good. Lower the knees, optional, chaturanga, high to low plank. Inhale to upward facing dog, roll shoulders back. And exhale, downward facing dog. Look between the hands. We'll try a little jump through for those of you who want to do it. Otherwise, just come into a seated position. So a jump through, we're going to try and control the jump to land nice and soft. Just an option. Hands, feet to the floor. Open the chest. And we'll come down slowly. So make a wheel out of your back. So you want to really make it nice and round. Protract through shoulders, chin towards chest, and tilt your tailbone. And use that core to slowly come down. So this will allow you to come down like every vertebra one at a time. And it gives you more opportunity not to let those feet lift and control. Oh my God. And slowly come down. Tickle the backs of your heels, coming into back bends. So we're going to have a few different versions. If you're new to my classes or yoga in general, please just take a normal bridge. I'm going to give options for heel raises, and I'm also going to give option for leg raises and wheels. So you can take whichever option you wish. Please don't feel pressured to do anything that you don't want to do. Tickle the backs of your heels, and then breath out, we're going to lift the hips up. Interlace hands behind the body, roll the shoulders under. Push through heels and then drag them towards you to activate through your hamstrings and glutes. Lift just your toes from the floor, which will also protect your knee. Now, optional to stay here, or we're going to lift that right heel up and then lower it down slow. Inhale to lift up. Exhale. Take it slow and just taking a few more in your own time. But I encourage you, rather than just letting it fall with a sharp thud, take it with nice control of that body, those muscles. Last one, lift and lower. Left side, so we swap sides. So the left heel lifts and lowers down. Take that control, take it slow. Another few more, just the same. Lowering down, and then we'll do a double heel lift. We'll go for 5, so lift up and down. 4, 3, 2, and last one. Lower the heels, release the hands, and lower each vertebra onto the floor. So the reason why we're practicing this is when you lift your heels, you actually reduce the back bend that you're in. You can windscreen wipe your legs from side to side here. So why that comes into play is when you're in wheel, if you are finding that the back bend is too much for your back, you can come up onto your heels, which is actually going to reduce your back bend. Come up off your heels, sorry. And you can also bend your elbows in your wheel to reduce the back bend. So it's just all knowing how your body can help you get into poses. So the next one is leg lifts. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, bring the hips up. Interlace hands behind the body, open the chest. Optional to stay as you are or to work on heel lifts. Or we're going to bring that left foot into the center of the body. Exhale, bring that right knee in towards the chest. And inhale to point through the foot towards the roof. Now we'll just do one heel raise. So we're going to raise up onto the heel. And what you off the heel, sorry. And what you should feel is that your back bend reduces because the angle of your back is less. Lowering that left heel, bend the knee in towards your chest and then placing the right foot on the floor. Walk your right foot into the center of your body. Exhale, left knee in towards the body. Point through the toe. Now keep pushing through that right heel to activate the glute. Don't let it get lazy or this will be painful. You want to keep the body working. Now optional to lift the heel on the right side. And you should feel that the back bend is not as an extreme angle. Lower the heel, bend the knee, and lower the leg. Take your hands out and lower each vertebra to the floor one by one. And bring your knees together in towards your chest. And then take your knees both over towards the right for a supine twist. Inhale to center and over to the other side. Inhale to center. And we will come into one more back bend, and you have the variation to come into a wheel if you would like. We'll go up for 10 counts, either bridge or wheel. Take your option, I'll count it for 10. So if you're doing leg raises, it's 5 breaths on each side. Inhale, prepare, and exhale to come up. So we'll go for 10, 9. If you're in wheel, you can try coming up onto the toes. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Chin to chest if you're in wheel, coming out. Lowering your lower back to floor and windscreen wipe the legs. Making that left leg nice and long, and exhale, bring that right knee into chest, moving into a deeper supine twist. Exhale the knee over the top of the body and gaze over towards the right hand. Coming back to center, straightening both legs out. And exhale that left knee into chest. Pull it up nice and tight to push that spine into the floor. And exhale over the top of the body. Maybe gaze towards the left hand. This just allows the spine to settle. Done a lot of back bends. Inhale, come back to center and take a happy baby. So you push that sacrum into the floor, grab the outside edges of the feet, pull the knees into the armpits. If you really want to straighten through the spine, try and get that sacrum flat on the floor by pulling yourself so you're stable. It's going to straighten through the back. Or optional, a little rock from side to side will bring you into a little bit of a curve in the spine. And when you're ready, coming into your final resting pose, your Shavasana. Take a big breath in together and an exhale through the nose. And now giving yourself these next few minutes to completely release and relax. Gently now coming back into your physical body and back into the space. When you're feeling ready, maybe wiggle fingers and toes. Maybe breath in, reach your hands up over your head and stretch the body out. Just being mindful of any neighbours. I used to say tickle their feet, but I can't do that anymore. And exhale, bring those knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a little cuddle. I love a little gentle rock from side to side. It really helps massage that sacrum, the lower back. Sacrum is an amazing part of the body and it takes a lot of pressure. Being bipedal animals where we're walking around, this is the part that takes a lot of pressure from the upper body. Exhale, lowering onto your favorite side. Keep your knees into your chest and eyes closed. And when you're ready, helping yourself up to a comfortable seated position. Keeping the eyes closed, and you can gently rest the hands on your quads, or if it feels right, you can bring your hands at prayer to your heart center. And we'll just take a moment to focus on this Shri that we have created, the divine beauty in life. That thing that really shines. And finding this moment to be grateful. Grateful we are in Australia. Grateful that we survived 2020. And grateful that we have our practice to help realign our bodies and clear our mind so we can show up as being the best versions of ourselves. Namaste. Thank you for coming, and I hope you enjoyed the class. And yeah, have an awesome weekend. It's going to be hot, isn't it? Yeah. Woohoo. Hope some of you get to the beach or the pool or something.